So know your protein sources. Beans and nuts, we talked about this. Beans and nuts are not a protein source. Beans are a starch. They are 75% starch. Nuts are a fat source. Yes, if you're not going to eat any protein at all and you don't want to become protein deficient, these will keep you from becoming protein deficient. But they're not considered protein sources. They're not good protein sources. They are just giving you enough not to get deficient. But if you have someone who is trying to lose weight and restore metabolic function, it's a huge mistake to try to use these as your protein sources because, yeah, you'll get protein, but you're going to get 3 times the amount of starch and 3 times the amount of fat. And that is not what you want. Complete proteins versus good proteins. So yes, if you combine rice and beans, you're going to get a complete protein. However, what difference does it make if that doesn't even give you a gram of protein? So what we want to think about when we think of good protein sources, don't think of complete protein sources like it gives you all the amino acids. Think about how much protein you're getting. This is why animal foods, while not necessary in a fat loss diet, do provide an advantage in a fat loss diet. So that is an important point to consider. The carbohydrate to protein ratio should be low. In other words, chicken is a good source of protein, not beans. And the fat to protein ratio, right, should be lower. In other words, an egg is far better than nuts. And this is part of the reason why we also talk about a whole egg versus an egg white. Egg yolks are one of the most healthy things on the planet. So we certainly don't want to advocate people not doing yolks because they're so healthy. However, when you have someone who is morbidly obese, who their major issue is fat loss and they need to get the fat off, we may want to, instead of doing 8 scrambled eggs, right, to keep their satiation, maybe we want to do yolks, maybe 2 yolks to 6 whites. And that is an important concept to get. They're not going to run into a fat deficiency. They got plenty of fat on their body. And so the only reason that you would need fat in that particular issue is to support things like acetylcholine function and things like that, and also for its satiating potential. But I'm just bringing this up because there's this idea going around that we always should eat a high-fat diet. And that works great for some people, and for some people it doesn't. What I have found most effective for some of the most resistant clients is a very, very, very high vegetable and low sweet fruit diet, a higher protein diet, a moderate fat diet, and a lower starch diet. Those are the things that seem to make the biggest difference if we're doing protocol type stuff. Now, obviously, we shouldn't be doing protocol type stuff. We want to work with individuals.